to wonderful Mexican cooking. This is the most delicious tender beef that you will ever have inside of your tacos and other things. It's not like those little pieces of ground beef, hamburger, ground chuck, whatever you want to call it, that you get in the Taco Bell taco. Speaking of Taco Bell, have you ever really read the ingredients in one of their taco seasoning mix packages? I suggest you do, because one of my least favorite things in the entire universe, MSG, monosodium glutamate, is in this. I am not feeding that to my family. There's no way. I'll show you how to make up my own taco seasoning in another video. So, the most incredible meat in the world for your tacos, chalupas, enchiladas, all of that, we're going to put in our very favorite servant here at PrudentWife.com, which is the crock pot. This is going to cook all day long. You can shove it out on the back porch if you don't want to smell meat cooking. It is a wonderful servant. Now, we start off with our meat. You can get any sort of a good quality roast that you want to get. I love making it with London broil. In Tennessee, London broil tends to be very expensive. In California, it would go on sale every 4 weeks, and I would stock up, make my taco meat for the month, and have all kinds of great meals in the freezer. But today, all I could find is really a chuck roast, and that will work just beautifully. So the first thing we do always is rinse off our meat, just in case there's any icky on there, whatever. I always rinse my meat before putting it in the crock pot. With clean hands, always, we're going to take and we're going to put the first steak in there, or roast. I have 2 of them here, as you can see. Then we're going to begin the delicate art of seasoning. We're going to use onions and garlic and spices. It's going to be grand. But first, we're going to chop some onions. We'll be right back. This shredded beef is going to be so wonderful, I can't wait. So, the second thing we do, we've got the first one in there. We're just going to take our meat, and if you want to really quick fry this up a little bit on the stove and just kind of brown it on both sides, that's a great way to go. Our beef in there, we've got some garlic in there, and we've already chopped up a lot of onions. Now I'm using almost a whole clove of garlic. Why? Because garlic has such wonderful healing properties. We keep going over this. We live in a land of allergies, asthma, everything else. It's spring, everything's blooming, everybody around us is sneezing, but we eat tons of garlic and a lot of onions. So we probably shouldn't breathe on people, but we're not having these horrible allergies. One of the best kitchen tools that you can have is a chopper. And we're going to show you, boom, that way you don't have to worry about chopping your onions. It's a wonderful, wonderful tool. So we're going to add the rest of the onions and garlic. The onion I just chopped right here. And these are going to, I just kind of put them over the meat. They're going to really add a lot of delicious flavor. We're going to add about a cup of water in here, and it will just help. I put it on the bottom of the meat. It will just kind of help things steam. So we've got that delicious stuff in there. If you want to poke some holes in the meat, you can do that. It's really not necessary. I'm going to shake on some of my secret taco seasoning recipe here that's homemade. It's got wonderful ingredients, and I'll show you how to make it later. At this point, if you're like us and you like spicy food, you might want to put a little bit of my favorite cayenne pepper, which is an anti-inflammatory fabulous for you. You might want to put some chopped up jalapeno peppers, which makes a delicious flavor. That's for the hot people. For those that are more mild, chopped up green chilies add a wonderful, wonderful flavor to this particular mix. Chopped up jalapenos, you can add those, and then of course the chipotle peppers. So there are a lot of flavor variations, but what you have to do is begin to make the meat. You make the first pot the way I'm showing you, and then experiment and find out what your family likes. If you make it too hot, it's a little hard to eat. This is also wonderful for taco salads. So we've got that going. I'm going to put a little bit more pepper in here because I just love pepper. And it really adds to the flavor. And we're all about maximum nutrition and flavor. Now, if you have organically grown beef, that's ideal. And I know it's a little pricey in the stores. If you're lucky enough to have your own cattle, that is wonderful. But you can do this with all sorts of meats. You can also do the same basic recipe with chicken. You just don't have to cook it as long. Despite all the construction noise around me, we're going to go plug this in outside. Thank you very much from theprudentwife.com, where we bring you the world's best taco meat. Our delicious, wonderful, oh, look at this. This is our roast beef, and you can see that it has been cooking and boiling away in here out on the back porch all day long. And we have been smelling it throughout the entire house. And we're going to take this and show you how to shred it up and make our homemade taco. Alright, shredding the beef once it comes out of the crock pot is really easy. You can cut it if you want to, and you can see I can just cut that right with a fork. and then you just pull it apart a little bit. It's not that hard. And before you know it, you've got wonderful shredded beef that's perfect to go into burritos and tacos and use for all of your favorite recipes. And then we take it, and you've just got all the shredded beef. We put it in individual containers, and that's enough for a meal.